Today we have extended highlights from the Carabao Cup quarter-final tie at Stamford Bridge between Chelsea and Manchester United, where Frank Lampard will be just looking to avoid the embarrassment that happened here between these two in their last encounter in the Premier League. The Carabao Cup returns tonight, but for Gregg Popovich and for Frank Lampard, they are renewing a bit of a trend. And, Frank Lampard will be hoping that it wasn't even half as bad as it was against Manchester United when they were at Stamford Bridge. The last time they were here, of course, Manchester United thumped Chelsea by 8-0. The other ties, Watford are taking on Leicester City. I think Arsenal have the champions Liverpool as well. That's the big marquee alongside this one. And, Frank Lampard has had about a month or so to kind of reassess the options and to make the changes necessary to just bring the gap down between the two, because Popovich and Manchester United were just in a league of their own last time out. A lot of the names from that match have returned. Pulisic, Ziyech, Werner. Havertz, I think, is a new one. Conte is playing in the holding midfield role. Barber makes a start on the left back position, so that's going to be an interesting inclusion. Mason Mount makes the bench once again. For Gregg Popovich, it is the traditional 11 minus Mason Greenwood, of course, still out injured. Odin Igalo makes the bench. Daniel James only gets relegated to the bench in replaced with Marcus Edwards. Matis de Ligt and Victor Lindelof traded places in the previous match, so they both start today, and that's the same case with Paul Pogba and Bruno Fernandes. On the left is Trogan Hazard, and Marcus Rashford will play behind Edinson Cavani. An interesting formation there from Coach Clark, putting Marcus Rashford in a more centre-forward role. So here we go then, the quarter-finals of the Carabao Cup. Manchester United have yet to make it past the semi-final in anything but the Champions League, with a bit of a semi-final curse on Coach Popovich last season, but obviously that wasn't the case in Europe. They went all the way, but it is in the English game where Manchester United have had really no domestic luck, they're going for their 27th, I believe it is, undefeated game for the season, the entire season, mind you. And, who would bet against them today? Well, Frank Lampard knows what he has to do. And let's just see if he can pull it off. Well, Havertz has done great there. And that's a good save by David De Gea. Well, Havertz did great in the first place. And Manchester United can't get it out of their area at the moment. Lindelof is being very loose with the ball. And here's Ziyech and Matis de Ligt just about heading it over. Well, Bruno Fernandes, 3 goals in his last 3 matches. And whereas Manchester United were not the scoring machines against Aston Villa, they still got the job done. Ziyech with the corner and headed away by Matis de Ligt. And as far as Pulisic. Chelsea, who's absolutely smothered and has got 3. All the Manchester United players around him. Alex Telles heads down and away. And now it's Kovac on the other side. De Ligt has got it away again. Manchester United really not looking at the races defensively so far. Victor Lindelof gave the ball away twice, leading up to that corner. Switch to Trogan Hazard. Here's Mendy, who had a bit of a nightmare here last time against Manchester United, conceded 8 goals. No fault of his own, it's really just the power of Manchester United in the 2020 to 2021 football season. Gallo, it's another great cross. Cavani! They make it too easy for United. And another goal for Edinson Cavani, who really hasn't slowed down with age, has he? Came over as a free agent from Paris Saint-Germain, who his team lost in the final of that Champions League. He's come to Manchester United, and he's putting right on his low, as it were, last season, and he's adding a lot more highs than a Manchester United shirt. It's another whipping ball by a right winger or a right back in Diego Dalot this time, and it's another goal. And Manchester United's wing play has been exquisite, and it's something that Gregg Popovich has really worked on his trade the last 2 years, and it is paying off a treat. And once again, Manchester United score. Chelsea 0, United 1. They say cup form can be very different to league form. Look at Arsenal. That's for Chelsea. It's the same old, isn't it? Ziyech. Wonderfully played by Edwards to try and get him off the ball. And the love poked it away. It's Tellez. Pogba to Marcus Edwards. Ashford. And Cavani jumped out of the way of the ball. Not sure what he was doing there. Kovac tackled by Bruno Fernandes. We're trying to poke it through there to Cavani. It's tackled by De Ligt. And now here's Edwards. Edwards with the ball in. Cavani again! And 2-0. And oh dear, it looks to be the same old story. Edinson Cavani already making it 2-0 to Manchester United here. And Stamford Bridge could be in for another nightmarish night against Coach Popovich's Manchester United side. Cavani is onside. What a great header. And another great cross by Edwards. And Frank Lampard and Chelsea just can't do anything. Can anyone do anything about this Manchester United side gunning for their 27th unbeaten game of the season consecutively? And oh boy, it just looks like being done, doesn't it? I think it is almost 100% certainty that Gregg Popovich will win his first honour in England as long as Manchester United keep playing like this. Chelsea 0, United 2, and we've only played 17 minutes. It could be just another rout for United. Another day at the office for Coach Popovich. He really is making it look easy. And he has the squad to back it up, to be honest. Tellez, De Ligt, Pogba. And all the supporting roles of the likes of Dan James. And Wan-Bissaka. Torgan Hazard. Well, he can't pick out Hazard. And what an irony that in the draw for the Champions League last 16, I believe Manchester United were drawn against Borussia Dortmund. So Torgan Hazard will be making his return to Borussia Dortmund for the first time since he left, and has gone on to be a great first season player for Manchester United, that's for sure. And here he is on the ball. It comes out to Paul Pogba! Oh! The world class of Paul Pogba. 3-0. It is too easy. It's almost an inevitability about Manchester United this season. And it looks to be another vintage night of scoring. Pogba, no right to shoot from there. From oncoming Conte. Looked up, bang. I think Conte almost took him out really under his own momentum. And Mendy will seriously be hoping this night goes quickly. Because if it's not, then it's going to be another disaster for Frank Lampard and his team. We said it last time that maybe Roman Abramovich will be looking very swiftly to change things up. He's not done it yet, but if Manchester United continue on this, then something may have to be done. Manchester United, Chelsea 0, Manchester United 3. Actually would have been handball against Conte, so advantage is gained. Here's Bruno Fernandes. It's been a pleasure to Kovac. Well, the Chelsea fans do hold Frank Lampard in high regard. He is very much a club legend. One has to wonder what the reaction be of the fans at the moment, though. Not doing fantastically in the league. And against Manchester United, they are being embarrassed, for lack of a better phrase. Oh, he's giving it away to Marcus Edwards. And it just sums up Chelsea's night at the moment. Over to Fernandes. Fernandes keeps it under a challenge. Cavani turns him out. And he tries to pick out Rashford, but it was in a crowded area there. Timo Werner. It's such a strange situation at Chelsea. So much money being spent by Frank Lampard this season. A year after the transfer embargo, Edison Cavani, and the keeper makes himself big there. With all the money that has been spent by Chelsea, and only 8th in the league, and every time they come up against Manchester United show up on a different planet. And Manchester United have probably spent a fraction, not even that maybe, of Chelsea's spending, and yet they are absolutely flying this season. Here's Rashford! Oh, it is too easy. It's almost not fair. Rashford makes it 4-0. And this really is just, maybe this could be the final straw for Frank Lampard. Marcus Rashford absolutely banging that one in with aplomb. And Mendy is just not covering himself in glory at the moment. Another 4 goals conceded by Frank Lampard's team against United. And we're asking the same question we asked in the previous encounter. How many more? Chelsea 0, Manchester United 4. And we've just played just over half an hour in this game. We are still in the first half. Torgan Hazard. Fernandes. Cavani. Oh, he's poked it through to Rashford. He made magnificently. Oh, it's getting a bit of a joke. Marcus Rashford has made it 5-0. But look at that pass from Cavani. Rashford blasts past Thiago Silva. A man that scored against them in the final of the Champions League last season. Today, Marcus Rashford sprung past him. And Coach Popovich's decision to rotate his defenders and his star players in the midfield has really worked. And it has worked wonders for Marcus Rashford today. Manchester United 0, Chelsea 5. It's getting a bit ridiculous here. Marcus Rashford. And still Marcus Rashford. And still Marcus Rashford. And handball. And it's given. And United have a penalty. Just to add to the woes for Frank Lampard. Yep. That's probably the clearest handball we've had this season. And it's definitely the right decision. Bruno Fernandes. I think a bit of a resurgence from the penalty spot. This really doesn't matter in the context of the game. Oh, it's a good save by Mendy, to be fair. It's a very good save, but it ends the half. But to be honest, it means nothing in the context of the game. Because here we are at the end of the first half. And all there really is to say is Chelsea 0, Manchester United 5. And that tells the whole story. James. Pogba. And now Diego Dallo! He's put it in! And oh, wouldn't you know it, Diego Dallo's even getting in on the act this season now. Well, he's earned it for all the assists he's pinged for himself. Wonderfully picked out by Pogba. And Dallo calls you like. And it's Manchester United 6, Chelsea 0. And once again, Chelsea have been thumped. And this is not a graceful cup exit for Frank Lampard in this one. I think Coach Popovich is almost not celebrating because it was an inevitability with his team would outscore them. They've gone from winning 1-0 at a tough Aston Villa game to 6-0 against well, what could be described as maybe title challengers. Something looked that way today. Chelsea 0, Manchester United 6. Here is Tomori. 5 more minutes of added on time, which is 5 more minutes of misery for Chelsea. It seems sad to say it, but United have outclassed them tonight once again. They've slowed down a little bit, Manchester United, but really they could have slowed down a bit before the end of the first half was over. Here's Mason Mount. David De Gea denies him, and I think Chelsea have a penalty conceded by Diego Dallo. And I think that's the first penalty United have conceded this season. It is pretty fair, really. I don't think there could be any complaints. Mount did get the shot away though, so maybe it is a little bit harsh. But United are probably owed one, to be fair. So here is Jorginho. He's put it over! I just cannot believe it. David De Gea was beaten. And that's embarrassing. They can't even put a score down in a penalty box. That's Chelsea's season. And there has to be something that Roman Abramovich may have to do, because that is unacceptable. They can't even score from the penalty spot against Manchester United. It's that bad. They've looked second best all night long, and that's just put them even further down the pecking order. Here's Mason Mount. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Chelsea just don't have their shooting boots on. It's atrocious. And they only have themselves to blame, because the second half is even worse than the first. David De Gea, very little to do. Has been inconsistent with his form at best. Manchester United were having their job made even more easier in the second half. Chelsea, nothing short of appalling. And really, I don't think there's anything more you can say than that. Manchester United comfortably through to the semi-finals, and Chelsea just absolutely nowhere. It's appalling from them, and it's another dismal night for Frank Lampard against Gregg Popovich. Chelsea 0, Manchester United 6, and a convincing win, and Chelsea have them only themselves to blame for the rest of it. So let's take a look at all the other action from the quarter-finals of the Carabao Cup, following the 6-0 win at by Manchester United at Stamford Bridge. Leicester City and Watford, with Liverpool and Bournemouth, both had matches going to penalties then. Watford went through by 5-4, and Liverpool also went through by the same scoreline against Bournemouth. For Arsenal and for Mikel Arteta, they booked a semi-final place, beating Southampton by 3-1, meaning for the semi-finals we had the draw immediately afterwards. Arsenal renew acquaintances with Gregg Popovich's red-hot team at Manchester United, and the champions Liverpool have Watford to deal with. And it could be a first versus second final should the form book play out in these semi-finals. Let's divert a moment to some other draws that happened during the week. We already reported that Manchester United will go up against Dortmund during the coverage. And here are the other ones for the final 16 of the Champions League. Marseille were drawn against Sevilla. Ajax were drawn against Lazio. Madrid and Juventus is probably the tastiest fixture of this round so far, although that was swiftly replaced by Bayern Munich and Paris Saint-Germain. But on current form, it definitely seems Atletico Juventus is the bigger tie. Doesn't get any easier for Frank Lampard, I'm afraid. He's got to come up against Real Madrid in the final 16. The champions Liverpool have Inter Milan, and FC Barcelona will take on Manchester City in the Battle of the Titans there. Just moving to the Europa League final 32. Galatasaray take on CSKA Moscow. Wolfsburg have Atalanta. Napoli have Mönchengladbach. Lask have Rennes. Rapid Vienna will take on Jose Mourinho's Spurs. Leicester City will take on Standard Liège. Olympiacos will take on Granada. Athens will take on Real Sociedad. PSV have Genk. BSC Young Boys have Bayer Leverkusen. Caesarspor will take on Roma. Los will take on Hoffenheim. And finally, Club Brugge will have Benfica. Villarreal have Nice. RB Salzburg will take on Arsenal. And Basakir's pretty much very respectable run in Group A are rewarded with a tough matchup against AC Milan.